Hello everyone. So our topic for today is about strategic performance management system. So first, what is cost of quality? These are costs incurred to prevent or the costs arising as a result of the production of a low quality product. Costs of quality are classified into four categories. First is prevention costs. These are costs incurred to preclude the production of products that do not conform to specification. Second is appraisal costs. These are costs incurred to detect which of the individual units of product do not conform to the specification. Third is internal failure costs. These are costs incurred on defective products before they are shipped to customers. And lastly, the external failure costs. These are costs incurred on defective products after they have been shipped to customers. Here are the 7-step activity-based costing approach. Step 1. Identify the chosen cost object. Step 2. Identify the direct cost of quality of the product. Step 3. Select the activities and cost allocation bases to use for allocating indirect cost of quality to the product. Step 4. Identify the indirect cost of quality associated with each cost allocation base. Step 5. Compute the rate per unit of each cost allocation base. Step 6. Compute the indirect cost of quality allocated to the product. And the last step, compute the total cost of quality by adding all direct and indirect costs of quality assigned to the product. There are 3 techniques for identifying and analyzing quality problems: control charts, Pareto diagrams, and cause and effect diagrams. First is control chart. It is a graph of a series of successive observations of a particular step, procedure, or operation taken at regular intervals of time. Each observation is plotted relative to specified ranges that represent the limits within which observations are expected to fall. Only those observations outside the control limits are ordinarily regarded as non-random and worth investigating. Next is Pareto diagram. It is a chart that indicates how frequently each type of defect occurs, ordered from the most frequent to the least frequent. And lastly is cause and effect diagram. It identifies potential causes of defects using a diagram that resembles the bone structure of a fish. Hence, cause and effect diagrams are also regarded as fishbone diagrams. Here are the non-financial measures of internal business process quality: percentage of defective products, percentage of reworked products, number of different types of defects analyzed using control charts, Pareto diagrams, and cause and effect diagrams, number of designs and process changes made to improve design quality or reduce cost of quality. Next is customer response time. It is how long it takes from the time a customer places an order for a product or service to the time the product or service is delivered to the customer. Manufacturing cycle time, or also called manufacturing lead time. It is how long it takes from the time an order is received by manufacturing to the time a finished good is produced. Lastly is on-time performance. It is delivery of a product or service by the time it is scheduled to be delivered. A time driver is any factor that causes a change in the speed of an activity when the factor changes. There are 2 time drivers: uncertainty about when customers will order products or services, and bottlenecks due to limited capacity. A bottleneck occurs in an operation when the work to be performed approaches or exceeds the capacity available to do it. For example, a bottleneck results and causes delays when products that must be processed at a particular machine arrive while the machine is being used to process other products. The theory of constraints describes methods to maximize operating income when faced with some bottleneck and some non-bottleneck operations. The TOC defines 3 measures. Throughput margin equals revenues minus the direct material cost of the goods sold. Investments equals the sum of material costs, indirect materials, work in process, and finished goods inventories, R&D costs, and cost of equipment and buildings. Operating costs equal to all costs of operations other than direct materials incurred to earn throughput margin. Operating costs include salaries and wages, rent, utilities, depreciation, and the like. Steps in managing bottleneck. Recognize that the bottleneck operation determines throughput margin of the entire system. Identify the bottleneck operation by identifying operations with large quantities of inventory waiting to be worked on. Keep the bottleneck operation busy and subordinate all non-bottleneck operations to be bottleneck operations. Now let us apply all these concepts. Here is a sample problem. Worldwide Cell Phones has developed a cell phone that can be used anywhere in the world, even countries like Japan that have a relatively unique cell phone system. WCP has been receiving complaints about the phone. For the past 2 years, WCP has been test marketing the phones and gathering non-financial information related to actual and perceived aspects of the phone's quality. The company expects that given the lack of competition in this market, increasing the quality of the phone will result in higher sales and thereby higher profits. Quality data for 2010 and 2011 include the following. Here is the requirement. For each year 2010 and 2011, calculate the following. Percentage of defective units shipped, customer complaints as a percentage of units shipped, percentage of units reworked during production, and manufacturing cycle time as a percentage of total time from order to delivery. Here is the answer. First, the percentage of defective units shipped. It is computed by dividing the cell phones produced and shipped to the number of defective units shipped for the both years. For the customer complaints as a percentage of units shipped, it is computed by dividing number of customer complaints to the cell phones produced and shipped. For the percentage of units reworked during production, it is computed by dividing units reworked before shipping to the cell phones produced and shipped. And for the last one, it is computed by dividing manufacturing cycle time to average customer response time.